Hey, it's Minimalist Gourmet, and today we're making chicken feet bone broth. It's loaded with collagen and only takes one pot. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. Okay, if you've never cooked with chicken feet before, don't be intimidated. They're really not any more difficult than handling a chicken wing. If your chicken feet still come with the nails on the end, you can use a pair of kitchen shears and just trim them off of that first knuckle. Unfortunately, my store only carries them pre-trimmed, so I couldn't show that on film. Next, we need to wash them, and I like to wash them twice, in fact. So first, I just stick them in a bowl, fill it full of water, and agitate them pretty well, and then drain that off. This is a good first pass. For the second wash, I add a quarter cup of white vinegar over the chicken feet, and then just repeat the first process, filling it full of water, agitating it, and then draining that off. Once I'm done, I do like to dry off my chicken feet with some paper towels. That way they cook up a lot better. For our aromatics, we have one large carrot that I've cut up into pieces, some celery. Well, we have Chinese celery here, but it's pretty darn close, and about a medium-sized onion that I've cubed up. Now I just want to cover everything in just a little bit of olive oil. That way these things will roast up real nice in the oven. I also have a whole head of garlic that I've just cut the top off right here, and we're going to hit that with a little bit of olive oil as well. I also like to wrap this completely in a little sheet of aluminum foil. That way when we roast it in the oven, it doesn't burn. Now go ahead and toss all the vegetables to make sure they're evenly coated with that olive oil, and we're going to repeat the process with our chicken feet. We're going to hit this with a little bit of olive oil, then toss it around to make sure everything's pretty well coated, and that way it roasts up beautifully in the oven, which is going to add a ton of flavor. If you want to skip using the oven, you can just brown the chicken feet in the same pot that you're going to make the broth in. Or if you want to skip this process entirely, you can go ahead and just load all of your aromatics and the chicken feet directly into the pot, and we can get started making the broth. I do think roasting them is definitely worth your time, though. It really makes these chicken feet taste terrific. I had to put my chicken feet on top of my aromatics to roast them because I only have a toaster oven. If you can do this all in one big sheet pan in a single layer, go ahead and go that way. We're going to roast these in a preheated 425-degree oven for about 45 to 75 minutes or until they look a lot like this. I forgot to show it, but you do add the garlic in on the roasting tray so it can cook along with everything else. Now load this into the biggest pot that you have. Make sure to pour any of those accumulated juices from the sheet pan into that pot. We're going to add in our roasted garlic as well, and then we're going to top this off with some spices. 1 tablespoon of salt goes in, which isn't a lot for a batch this size, but I like to salt it when I use it. That way I keep it nice and light right now. 1 tablespoon of whole peppercorns. If you don't have this, you can use about 2 teaspoons of ground pepper. It'll be all right. 1 tablespoon of thyme, or you could substitute with your favorite dried herbs. That's fine. A couple of bay leaves, 1/3 of a cup apple cider vinegar, and then we top this off with about 1.5 to 2 gallons of water. If your tap water doesn't taste very good, then go ahead and use bottled. It'll make it taste a lot better in the end. As always, recipes in the description below, so definitely go down and check that out. You want to show the channel a little bit of love, you could give it a like, share, comment, hey, maybe even consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Turn your heat on to high, give everything a good thorough mixing, and then you want to bring it up to a boil. Once it hits a boil like this, we need to go ahead and put a lid on it and then turn the heat down to low. Reduce the heat until it's just at a simmer and cover with a lid. Some astute viewers are going to realize this is a pressure cooker, but I am not using it as a pressure cooker at all. I'm just using it because it's the biggest pot that I have, and it actually has a lid. Now let this simmer for a minimum of 6 hours up to 24 hours, and the longer the better. I let my broth go for about 20 hours, and you do want to stir it occasionally. You may need to add a little bit of water if the level goes too low while cooking. My wife went to check on it in the night once. When she stirred it, she said that really freaked her out. After 20 hours of cooking, these things have given up the gusto. I mean, just look at them. They're completely defeated. Seriously though, these chicken feet have released an amazing amount of chicken flavor and collagen into this broth. I mean, just look at that color. Finally, we need to filter the solids from the broth. I've got a big bowl here and a colander that fits inside. We just need to pour the broth through the colander and catch any solids that collect in here. I had to do this in 2 rounds because there was so much broth it wouldn't fit all in the bowl at once. Just pull the colander up and you can throw away whatever solids are inside. They're not really good for anything anymore. You can either use this broth immediately or you can pour it into some glass jars and allow it to cool completely to room temperature. You can put a tight fitting lid on there and then store it in the fridge for a good solid 3 or 4 days. I gotta say, I'm still very impressed with the beautiful color on this batch. I couldn't be happier with the way this came out. As for the other half of the batch, like I said, it didn't fit in the bowl, but this is what it looks like. You just want to go ahead and sieve all of this out in the colander and then drain it and toss it away. There's really no good for it anymore. To ensure the best taste, again, I'd really recommend that you use a glass container to store it in the fridge. That way it doesn't pick up any weird flavors. Here we go, bottoms up. Oh, wow. Okay, this is so much more than just chicken broth. Let me put that down right off the bat. It has a very rich depth of flavor. And more so than that, there's a texture to it. It has a wonderful body, kind of coats your tongue. It's very velvety. Okay. The vegetables have come out nicely. You get just a light hint of the onion, the carrot, the garlic, celery. Everything's in the background playing as like a bit of a second fiddle to the chicken. But my God, this is just amazing. Those chicken feet really released a lot of flavor. And again, the body is so much more than just a broth. It's not thin, it has so much viscosity to it. I really like this. So, this recipe really isn't difficult. It just takes a little bit of time. Trust me on this, though, your patience will be rewarded. Once you've made it, you can use it in your favorite recipe. Anything that calls for chicken broth or chicken stock, this is a great substitution and is going to really kick that flavor up to 11. However, I'd like to recommend using it right here in my chicken soup recipe. Trust me, this is one you don't want to miss either. These two recipes go together like peanut butter and jelly. Thank you guys so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate your time today, and I hope to see all of you here again next week on the next episode of Minimalist Gourmet.